Welcome back to Europe. So the first question is obviously, what was like the one thing that you took away from playing like a split over in North America? Did you like it? Maybe had like a good time? Did you like the weather? Or what's like the general living conditions over there in North America?
I enjoyed it very much. The weather was super nice, atmosphere, different people, new studio, everything, just like a new stuff. So it was super cool for me. But mainly what I take from NA or being one split in NA is like how I changed the playstyle I had before. Because NA was so much different from European playstyle. They play more like a slow, methodical game, more macro focused, trading objectives, not much individual like outplay, solo plays. They prefer rather like just out macro the enemy team. While in the EU it's just like, I'm a better player than you, I will just outplay you and then we will win the game that way. So I had to change my playstyle a lot. Like I was just one-dimensional player while I just played one linear playstyle all the time. I never changed it. I never had to because it was just like that was my strength, right? But then in NA I had to change it because that was not the way everyone else plays. So I was just focused when I played like that. It was just over-aggressive and everyone camped me. So I had to change that, and that I'm very thankful for the coaching staff in Renegades, Hermes mainly, because he helped me a lot with this issue, and he like introduced me how to like play either from behind or play like a macro focus game.
So what was your desire to maybe return back to Europe? Did you maybe miss that kind of style that like I'm better than you, I want to show it to you, or what was like the general idea of just moving back to Europe again?
Well, it was mainly because I got an offer from H2K and the roster is super good. And it was just like this feeling inside of me that I never won anything. I always was a part of relegation before, which is like super sad for me. I just wanted to prove that I am worth like being the best in EU and qualifying for Worlds. That's like my main goal, and then doing very well. And finally, like mainly I've never had an international experience, so that's what I'm like looking for. That's what I was looking for, and H2K was offering it. There's a big chance we will play to get to Worlds, and I will be the main contributor for that, because if I play well, the team is gonna play well. So the skill ceiling of the team is as high as mine, so I can literally focus only on myself improvement, and then how much I improve, the better we will get.
You have to fill FORG1VEN's shoes, right? And everyone regards him as the best AD carry in Europe, maybe even in the West, maybe like world, like all these kind of things. But did you have like any fear maybe of not really like reaching that level of play that he had and then holding the team back? Like what was like your first thought when you initially got approached by H2K?
Well, it was brilliant because, when I am supposed to fill a big shoes, then the more I will like be motivated, the more I will want to show people that I can actually do it, and then if they will compare me to FORG1VEN, well, better for me, because I can show them I'm better than him.
So maybe like a first impression of like the new teammates. I mean, you had like a while now to scrim with your new teammates. You had I think you never played with like a Korean.
No.
Except Seraph, right?
Yeah.
For
Seraph
like
and Ninja.
But yeah, so what's like the H2K environment like? What's like the teammates? Maybe what's the difference between like coaching stuff? Because probably is regarded as one of the good coaches here.
Well, as far as the players go, just like every player is different, and everyone has like his personality that I have to work with, and then it's very interesting for me to be a part of H2K, because everyone else, like it's like when I was in NA, the people were like usually the same, but when you play in a European team, the players come to completely different countries and they have completely different opinions and the way they see things. So you have to work around with it, and then there are some players who are very funny to be around, and I would just leave it at that.
So comparing the team environment from Renegades to H2K. So unfortunately, Renegades had to sell the spots for like reasons that are not really super obvious or maybe not super public, but it was like it had something to do with like an unsafe environment. That was like the wording in the official article, right? What's your take on the situation, if you can talk about it maybe?
Well, I wasn't like a a witness of some unsafe environment. So that ruling was surprising for me. Like I woke up, just went on Reddit, and just like I was super surprised that something like that happened when like I didn't know that this is possible. Like Riot investigated, that's what I know, but like I didn't expect anything like this, and it was very serious and very like super weird because I haven't been part of it.
A few of your teammates, ex-teammates rather, right now made a statement that you guys are maybe like a top 2 team. So if you wouldn't have had to sell your spot kind of and teammates leaving, do you think you would have sticked with like Renegades right now and then prove to yourself or the team that you guys are good enough to actually be like a top contender in North America?
Yeah, my conditions to stay in the team was if Seraph and Ninja stays in Renegades, and then I got an information from the management that they will not keep them, so I decided to leave as well. But I'm definitely possible we would be top 3 team if we stayed together and just play the way we played, because we were very good at the end of the split and we were like 9-0 as well or something, so it was really good.
So throughout your whole career you had to play with like a lot of different supports, right? And Mithy was one of them, probably like regarded as one of the best supports, and now you play with like Wanda, who's mechanically gifted enough. Do you think that finally making a change back to like a really good support will help you out in the laning phase, or how do you approach like playing with a good player like mechanically gifted like Wanda?
I think that the most that's going to help me is that playing against these super good bot lanes like Mid and Niels, the best bot lane in EU, and then Fnatic, Reckless, Yellow Star. Then we'll see how FORG1VEN and Hybrid will do. So like playing against these bot lanes will help me the most. Like especially playing when I went to the game here and started playing with Thunder, I've seen a lot of differences in the playstyle, and it was very pleasure to see like a support that he's just not scared of going in, makes plays, setups me. So I was like surprised that I don't have to do anything myself, and the support is like sort of doing everything for me, and then it will either work or not. That depends on how you play it. But it was just a super different from NA. When in NA the supports were super scared, they didn't do anything. It was mainly to AD carries to like call for something.
Okay, so we have this North American versus Europe thing, right? Do you think that North American bot lanes are generally better, because that was always their strong point, right? That North America has like really good AD carries. I mean, Double Lift, Wild Turtle, and Altec, and to name a few. Do you think that in general European bot lanes are maybe better or worse, or what's like the playstyle difference that you think is better for the game?
The best bot lane in EU is so much better than the best bot lane in NA. Like so much better. It's unbelievable. Because when I started playing versus Mitty and Niels, they were punishing me for mistakes that no one punished me for that, like the entire split for these mistakes. I didn't even know I'm making these mistakes, and then I played against Mitty and Niels, and Mitty punished me so hard. That was like just so different, and I had to adjust my playstyle a lot and play more like a save the skill shots, save what I do, and be efficient, because if I wasn't efficient, bam, insta punish, No one did that in NA, so I'll just leave it at that.
All right. So during the spring split, did you keep like an eye maybe on any rosters from Europe, or any games? Did you watch any games? Did you watch some bot lanes maybe? I mean, we had a lot of roster changes in Europe, right? So I just want to see maybe that. What do you think about like the teams right now in comparison to spring split?
Well, I've paid a bit of attention to the EU LCS, but it was pretty hard because it was like at 8 a.m. in the morning started the EU LCS for NA time. So I only watched like the playoffs, for example, and then the roster changes that happened, like Gamers 2, basically the best roster move, I think, because they already had super good team, and then they get like this big upgrade in bot lane, which should in theory help them a lot. And if they The only problem I see with Gamers 2 is like that their bot lane was never shot calling in Gamers 2, and then they picked up a bot lane that was only shot calling in Origin. So I don't know how they will mesh, but that's like we will see how they do, and I think they will do well. But it needs some time to see. But then other teams, the roster management, there's a lot of Koreans that I don't know about, and I haven't played versus them yet. So I'm like excited to play against them and just show them this is Europe, dude. Like, we're the real thing, and practice for Worlds. So.
Obviously, a lot of people. I mean, people are whining about the current status of bot lane right now. That it's pretty weak and that you can't carry, and that it's in a really bad state with all the TPs. Like, what's your take on that? Is like bot lane really that weak? If we take Lucian obviously out of the equation in your role, right? Do you think that maybe there's like some changes that we need to see in order for the bot lane to have a significant like impact on the game?
So Lucian is out, right?
Lucian is out, yeah.
Right. So Lucian is 1v9, that just leave it out.
Yeah.
But then everything else is like bot lane was always about finding out what is the most efficient, most effective AD carry to play with. You know, it's like there are always like the moments when no one knows what is good. And then there's moments when like Sivir comes out, you know, super strong, or she gets buffed and then she's a very high influence. And these are like the moments that keep switching between. It's like obviously the tank meta when the Icebomb Gauntlet was broken, etc. Then, you know, like AD carry, they always have the same like the impact. They were getting nerfed obviously from the marksman update till now. They are getting nerfed every patch, but they still have very huge impact. It's just like these bot laners, they're whining about other roles, you know, because AD carry usually was the shining light of the carry role, and then with these top lane changes and then mid changes, you know, the shining light goes to like different roles than AD carry, and then, you know, like the AD carriers can't accept that, and they're like, oh my god, AD carry is so bad role, you know, and then the role is still the same. It's just other roles has changed, you know.
Okay, one more question about Dragon. What's your take on Dragon for the bot lane? I mean, you as a very lane-focused player, I think it's a pretty decent change, I guess, for you, because you punish lane like really hard and like to be lane dominant, and it makes the team probably a lot easier to play around you and then pick up a Dragon, right? Like, what's your take on this whole mid-season change where we see some random dragons spawning, you know?
So for me, I like the dragons. I enjoy them so much, but I know they're bad. Like it's so much more fun to play around the randomness of the dragons, but it's like I just know with my brain it's not good for the competitive, but I just enjoy it, you know. It's like, which dragon do we get next?
Yeah. All right. I think thank you so much. We are done here. That's it.